It was a warm late summer afternoon. The blue and cloudless sky created the perfect atmosphere for Paola and Luca's wedding. The vineyard chosen for the ceremony, with its green hills and rows of vines, seemed to have come out of a painting. A light wind gently swayed the leaves of the trees and the flowers arranged along the walkway that led to the altar. There was a sense of serenity in the air, a harmony that seemed to announce the happiness of the day. Before continuing, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell. Paola, 29 years old, was stunning in her ivory dress. Her brown hair fell softly to her shoulders and her face reflected pure joy. Every step she took along the catwalk toward Luca seemed punctuated by an increasingly radiant smile. Luca, who was waiting for her at the altar in an elegant dark blue suit, couldn't take his eyes off her. His smile, sincere and full of love, seemed to embrace her from afar. For both of them, that moment represented the beginning of a new life together. The ceremony took place in an intimate atmosphere, with only the closest family and dearest friends present. The guests sat on simple white chairs arranged along the rows of vines and watched with growing emotion. The vows that Paola and Luca exchanged were intense and sincere, words that deeply touched the hearts of all those present. The promises of love and fidelity echoed through the hills like sweet music that moved anyone who listened. Tears flowed freely among the guests, especially among the parents of the couple who watched them with pride and emotion. When Paola and Luca put on their wedding rings and sealed their love with a long, tender kiss, a warm applause erupted among the guests. Happiness was palpable, radiating from every smile and every hug. After the ceremony, the party immediately came to life. Paola, always full of life and energy, moved among the guests, hugging, chatting, and laughing with everyone. Her face was lit up with happiness, and Luca followed her with his gaze, as if he didn't want to miss even a moment of that shared joy. It was one of those moments that no one forgets, a perfect moment in which it seemed that everything was possible, that happiness could last forever. But that happiness, unfortunately, was destined to be shattered too soon. Only 10 days after the wedding, Paola lost her life in a tragic car accident while returning from work. An instant, a sudden fatality, and everything that had been so full of hope and future shattered into 1,000 pieces. Despite the rapid arrival of help, there was nothing that could be done. The news came like a bolt from the blue, leaving everyone, but especially Luca and Paola's mother, in a state of shock and desperation. Luca was completely devastated by the loss. He couldn't believe that the woman he had just married, the woman he dreamed of sharing his life with, was no longer by his side. The house they had just started to build together, full of their dreams and their projects, now seemed empty and silent. Every corner of the house spoke of Paola, her clothes hanging in the closet, her shoes by the door, and the photos taken during the wedding, which now seemed to belong to another life. Her absence was an unbearable weight, a void he couldn't fill. Even Paola's mother, who had seen her grow up, become a strong and happy woman, could not accept the tragedy. The house where Paola had grown up, a house that until a few days before had been full of laughter, was now wrapped in an oppressive silence. Every object, every room reminded her of her daughter. Every day she woke up hoping that everything was just a bad dream, but reality was always there, inexorable and cruel. A week after the funeral, driven by the need to put her life in order, Paola's mother decided to enter her daughter's room to put her things away. It was a painful task. Every gesture hurt her deeply. Every folded dress, every object she touched was a vivid memory of Paola, a fragment of a life that was no longer there. While she was making up the bed, she found a white envelope under the pillow. She immediately recognized the handwriting. It was Paola's, a letter addressed to her. With shaking hands and a heavy heart, the mother opened the envelope and began to read. "Dear Mom," the letter began, "if you are reading these words, it means that something unexpected has happened. My wedding is just a few days away and I am so happy. But I have a strange feeling which I cannot explain in words. I know that you must be hurting, but I want you to know that I love you more than anything. You have been the best mother I could have asked for, and I will always be grateful for everything you have done for me." Tears began to flow down her mother's face as she continued reading. In that letter, Paola seemed to have sensed somehow that life could hold painful surprises. "I don't want you to let the pain consume you," Paola continued. "I know it will be difficult, but you must find the strength to live. Find happiness in the happy memories we shared. Don't cry for me, but smile when you think of everything we have experienced together." Paola's mother continued to read, and every word seemed like a sweet and comforting hug. Paola didn't want her mother to get lost in her pain. She wanted her to find a way to move on, to live a full life even without her. "Live your life for me," Paola wrote. "Realize the dreams that I didn't have time to realize. And remember that I will always be with you, in every ray of sunshine, in every laugh you share with those you love." Those words of love and encouragement gave Paola's mother a new perspective, a new sense of purpose. Despite the devastating pain of losing her daughter, she decided to honor her memory in a concrete way. Paola, in the letter, had mentioned a project that was very important to her, a foundation for young artists that she wanted to support. She had always been passionate about art and firmly believed in the power of artistic expression to change people's lives. Paola's mother immersed herself in that mission, finding comfort and hope in carrying on her daughter's dream. Every visit to the foundation, every young artist she managed to support made her feel closer to Paola. It was as if, through those young people and their works, Paola's spirit lived on. Even Luca, initially devastated by grief, found refuge in that mission. Together with Paola's mother, they began to organize fundraisers, artistic events, and exhibitions to celebrate the talent of young, emerging artists. Each work, each success, was a tribute to Paola, a way to make her spirit and her love for life live. As time went by, that foundation grew, becoming a beacon of hope for many young people. Paola's name continued to resonate through the works of art that were created, and her legacy of love and passion continued to touch the lives of many. Even in the most difficult moments, Luca and Paola's mother found strength in knowing that they were carrying on the dream of the woman they loved. The loss of Paola would never be completely overcome, but through the foundation, through the art and talent of those young people, her spirit continued to shine, leaving an indelible mark on anyone who was fortunate enough to know her. Did you like this story? Leave a comment below. Thanks for watching the video till the end, and see you next story.